welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, and it is our, of course, Christmas show. I got a good question for you. Is there a connection between faith, spirituality, and our mental health? Joining us right now is clinical psychologist Dr. Michael Adamse. Thank you so much, doctor, and welcome back to Daily Flash. We love having you on.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Thanks for having me, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. All right. How can faith, maybe even spirituality, really help our own mental health?
Well, there's a lot of data, a lot of studies that actually show, Mitch, that lower levels of stress, depression, anxiety accompany faith. Now, faith is very personal, right? That could be organized religion, it could be your own private path towards spirituality. But if we connect to a higher power, if you will, it definitely affects our mental well-being in a positive way. There's a lot of research that supports that.
I would imagine that a lot of us lean on these coping mechanisms that we develop with spirituality or religion. What's some of the practical coping methods that people go through?
Well, prayer is a very personal thing. That could be either, an organized ritual prayer or your own kind of prayer, meditations, spiritual reading, those kind of tools. So anything that connects you once again with what you perceive as a higher power is good for your mental well-being.
You know, when we talk about life, we all have ups and we all have downs. It's important to go through when we weather the storm. You say in your book that it's really important that faith is important to you when we weather those stressful life events. But what about your physical health and as well as your mind-body connection? Is there one, and how important is it?
There's no question about that it's a two-way street, right? So our mind affects our body affects our mind. Where spirituality and faith comes in, though, is that there's some interesting, intriguing data that show that prayer, whether it's intended by yourself or by others, can actually enhance your immune system, which is always good in dealing with disease processes, right? So it's pretty exciting research that's ongoing, but there's no question that there's a two-way street involved. So your physical well-being is definitely influenced by your psychology, and by extension, by your faith.
Okay, I can subscribe to all of that, and I would imagine, let's take spirituality out of the equation. Just having a positive attitude can help you physically. Maybe you might be going through an ailment by knowing, like, all right, I'm going to get through this. And stop me if you don't agree. But I would imagine that having that spirituality gives you a basis, gives you a plan, I guess, and you're also a mentor, a coach, if you will. And how important is that? And if I'm not on the right track here, let me know. How important is that when we go into these phases of our life or even the seasons of our life?
It's very, very important because once again, to kind of repeat myself, Mitch, you're right on target. It's about the bigger picture and being connected to that. And you got to remember something else too. When we have faith, perhaps organized religion, and we connect with other people who have similar beliefs and similar values, that is also healing. Because the best predictor of how we're going to get through life stress is how connected are we with others. So if we can connect with other people on a spiritual level, that is like a turbo enhancement, if you will.
All right, Dr. Adamse, you say connect with somebody spiritually. Give us some examples of that. Is it just that you have common core beliefs, or is it more?
It's common core beliefs, and again, that could be ritualistic through a church or temple or whatever you're involved in. But you follow certain rituals, readings, Bible, that kind of thing. What I think is interesting in the Bible, of course, are Proverbs. So when you read Proverbs, they're fast, get to the point, and they can be very inspiring. But the more you share with others, I keep coming back to that, Mitch, the more you share with others who share common beliefs and values, the better off you're going to be physically and psychologically.
I believe that too, because when you share something, you have a stronger belief in it. So if you go, hey, look, I'm part of a plan, and maybe acceptance if it's a terminal, I would imagine that would actually help you maybe release your body to the world and that sort of thing. And if you have somebody, I know we have about 30 seconds here. If you have somebody that might be struggling with it, what's some ways to encourage them to maybe look spiritually so they can help themselves physically?
Again, it's a very personal path. But I would suggest that people read. They start to read other paths. So whether it's Buddhism, it's Judaism, it's Christianity, or whatever your choice is. But start to read, because I always like to say about religions, they're different tribes on the same reservation. There's more commonalities than not. So I would say to people, start to read, learn a little bit about, and talk to people.
I love that you said that, because you're right on the money. Take those blinders off, look at everything, and accept everybody. Great advice. That's why we love having you on, doctor. And if you want to find out more information, we have details waiting for you at makeamericasaneagain.net. Worried about not remembering that website? Don't worry about it. It's going to be on our website, dailyflashshow.com. And guess what? We have faith in you that you'll go there and check it out to get more info.